Hello! Welcome to my tiny little tube. It is only small in what? Because I have a little thing that I say because I'm short. I'm 5'2". I used to be 5'3 3/4", but I lost a couple inches in the last couple years because of the arthritis in my spine. Degenerative arthritis in my spine. So, I tell people, I'm small. I'm only small in stature. That's the only place I'm small. Yeah, I got one, but I'm just gonna try and do things where I don't need to anymore. So the movers were coming. Movers were gonna come in, and it's nice to be able to tell them. I said, "Well, I came down here, stuff in the back of a big red truck, and it's 6x9 trailer, so." Don't need a whole semi or nothing. Don't bring the semi, because God has blessed us with abundance enough to be able to get a mover, and so because my body can't do it anymore. I can lift, but I can't lift that many things over and over as fast as I want. So it's just easier sometimes to just have other people do it for you. It's because I had short man's complex, and I was a little girl. Because I always had something to prove. Because people never listened to my words, never listened to me. So I would always make everything a game, a competition kind of thing. Like but I was never a fast runner. I don't know. I was just an awkward, weird little kid. But the times of winds a change of blowing, man. Everything is changing so much because everything stopped, so to speak, for so many people. Because of this stupid freaking. I don't even know where to begin. This sickness, that has been unleashed on the earth this last year, that people just don't even know. They're losing their human connections, and then plus with conjunction of these things, they lost their ability to even know how to talk to one another, person to person. So you can't rely. The human computer interface is just a mess, and people are like, you can't get a hold of people when you need questions answered. And they put you through a daisy chain, a loop. It's just where you never get a hold of anyone. It's just like push one, they push you off, and it's like, why do these people even get income? They don't do anything. They have all these organizations. They're freaking homeless veteran. No wonder freaking there's so many homeless veterans, because the people that work for the homeless veteran place, they don't do anything. They have because they have a roof over their head. So what you need to do is have homeless veterans that have gotten themselves out of homelessness, and then have them network. Because the people in the government, they just pay themselves to make phone calls and to send an email, but nothing ever gets done, because they're not really competent. They just know how to type. I mean, it's really discouraging. So, and it's also more discouraging. Yeah, and the thing of it is, this is what I want to get to. Is that we're getting to a place, just before I started my talk. Hi, Carl. The dogs are comfy. Mom's comfy. The lights are on. I'm loving on Artie, because they're all extra sensitive, because the energy's extra sensitive, because everybody is heightened in a heightened state magnetically. And most frickin' fools don't know that they even are. So they don't know how to ground themselves to get out their kinetic energy, their yayas, whatever you want to freaking call it, and do something productive. So we get more and more crazed people, and we're only going to get more and more crazed people because people don't know how to control themselves. They don't, and they got used to a technology of some sort of semblance of instant gratification, you know, and so now people, are gonna have to wait because technology is just freaking foobar. It's just the whole network is just foobar. They ain't gonna make it freaking ever work. So I did a talk like 2-3 years ago called "Getting Back to Grassroots," and that's the thing is people are gonna have to really come into the comfort zone or find a comfort zone of living locally in your community, because there's gonna be points in time where we're pockets of towns and cities and stuff are going to be cut off from the rest of the world, and because technology's fallible, because the freaking bureaucrats put money in their pocket and didn't do anything with the infrastructure, so we just get to deal with what's next, but out of necessity comes a lot of really freaking cool ideas. I have a lot of really cool ideas. I can't wait till people start going back to freaking bartering, and I see speakeasies coming back. It's what they used to call bars, like in the days of Prohibition, where people couldn't meet openly and hang out with their friends. So they'd have like secret freaking stash, hideouts where people would come together, and that's what the world's gonna be, with all this freaking bullshit. And now with all the freaking vaccine stuff, man, I don't want no more freaking government mandated vaccines. That poison toxic bullshit floating through my veins. They ain't getting me, and they ain't getting Ma. Huh, Ma?
That's right.
No vaccines for you.
Nope.
Get the F out of here with your go. You know what? And you know who needs to have them first? All the billionaires that are pushing for it. Give it to them first. Give it to them first. All of them. Give it to all the freaking leads. Give it to all the leaders. Give it to all the billionaires that run the world. Give it to them first. I'll be last. I won't take it. I'm not taking no freaking government. Dude, the government, I was in the Air Force. It's run very unimaginative people. Very impressionable. They aren't hired to think for themselves. They're hired to do what they're told. Yeah. So people think that I was cool. People still think we live in a free world, huh? In a free land, huh? Really? You think? Really? If I could have a conversation with anyone, I get 3 questions in deep, and then they'd realize, oh crap, I don't have any freedom in my life. You just have, all we have is the freedom of choice to choose how do we react to situations and events. I'm today. I'm teetering towards no, ascension ain't gonna happen in a great big old way. See, that's the thing, is the potentials are there for them to happen, but everybody has free will, and people are lazy, so people are going to choose the same path that they've. I was telling that to Mom. I'm like, Mom, I don't think people are going to choose the righteous path because they haven't yet. So why would they? Why would they, Ma? They're just going to keep with their opportunistic ways, not even acknowledging that they have a spirit. Maybe it's because I watched a movie called Defending Your Life with Al Brooks long time ago. I recommend it. And I always thought, but my spirit always thought that whatever we do in this incarnate, we're going to have to look at that in some capacity, and answer for it. Why did you act that way? Why didn't you come from a place of love? Why did you do that? Why what's with the spite, And see, people don't freaking get that what they throw out comes back to you, y'all. They don't get it. And they just keep throwing stuff out, living the best versions of their life. But that momentum, man, they can't ride that way forever. They cannot. And another thing that's going to freaking, help mankind and not freaking kill another civilization is if people come into balance from their ego into spirit and start rectifying the damage of their past. All the stuff that they've done. I don't see a whole lot about that going on. I don't see a whole lot of people coming up and going, I did this. I do here and there, so I know it's happening. There's this one guy that came forward, killed killed a dude, shot and killed a dude back in like '96 or something like that, and he was dying of cancer, and he was clearing his conscience because the older you get, you know, you're supposed to babies, see, we're supposed to listen to kids and their consciousness because they're closer to source, but adults are too busy controlling them and trying to get them to act a certain way instead of learning the valuable lessons, you know, of being wholesome. And then we're supposed to grow up and keep that heart space, but it gets so shrouded and so buried by toxicity that people don't hang on to their heart space. Think about how different the world would be right now if people would just like came up, you know, with playground rules. Came up in every encounter with playground rules, you know? You know, and the people had to become adults and grow up and whatever that means. I never did. I played a lot of games. I played the reindeer games. It's what I call them. It's what I call corporate America, Corp USA. It's what I call politics. It's all I call. If in any freaking group, small group comes up with any ideas and then designates how this is, it's all fucking reindeer games. And I never got invited. Just like Rudolph. I was Rudolph. Or, no, we were all Rudolphs. Yeah, we sang that. And when that was what? Little Acorn Preschool. I was like 4. They put lipstick on all of our noses, and I got in trouble because I used to eat lipstick. I used to eat paste. I was that person. I was a spirit having a human experience. Like, taste this, smell this. You know, I put everything in my mouth. It was a nightmare for Mom, including a fish hook when I was 2. So, personal accountability. It's kind of my character. I always told on myself because I couldn't. I knew that because Mom always used to say that the truth always comes out, and it did. The proof verified that the truth always comes out. It always does. So I learned at a very young age that just not freaking lie because people are going to find out anyway, and that holds true. It still does to this day. So. What else? We're moving on down the road. I'm just waiting for the big red truck. We're going to address the distributor. And that's cool. I'll call back tomorrow and see how that's going. As soon as we get the BRT back out of her reconditioning state. And we're going to head on down out east a little farther. And I'm done. I don't want to move no more. And you know, just try and find our community there. That's just so weird. I know wherever I go, I'm the problem. I understand that. I'm just like, why can't I find my place in this world? But the thing I was sharing with Mom earlier today. I said, Mom, I understand that every situation that happens, it's like I've for a very long time I've looked at. See, because when I moved to Oregon, it was my will. It was what I wanted. And then my whole life blew up, and that's when my ego deflation really freaking leveled out. That was where the rest of it. It's where I got rid of freaking pride, you know, any ties to earthly things like that. Yeah, I got stuff, you know, I got about 20 totes with, you know, some keepsakes and stuff like that. Really, we don't have much in life, and then when I started listening to God and having God direct my life, you know, which got us the stepping stone to Arizona, and now we're off to New Mexico, and you know, I used to like. God does for us things for us that we can't do for ourselves sometimes. Because I planned, and I'm like, I opened it up freaking months ago when I first started looking for a place for us more permanent. That God's got the wheel. God is completely in control, and you know, and I pray and I meditate and I do make these calls and I do this and I, you know, and it's all so beautifully synchronistic. I mean. I do YouTube channels, and I've known a lot of people in my life, and not one of them was able to help me know somebody, you know, that could get us in a better place. So I threw it out to God and the universe, and it was somebody. It was a gal named Cynthia in the chat at Marge Astrology that I ended up getting in contact with, and that's that is leading us to the place that where we get to have all of our family together for a year, and then by then, I mean, the world's going to be an entirely different place. So, I mean, maybe there won't even be banks and mortgages and stuff like that. Maybe it'll be like, if you can find a house that's empty, it's yours kind of thing, you know? So, because, I don't know, people, they're not, in the psychology, people's psychology is just melting down. Because they feel, because there's so much freaking secrets, and they don't, and they just, all you gotta do is come clean, and then you don't have to worry about people looking over they're looking over your shoulder the rest of your life. You come clean about all this, and that's what people freak out about. See, I try not to have secrets, because the truth always comes out. So, and mental health is gonna, I mean, I don't trust freaking people that have never been through shit to tell me to take a pill to level out. No, you address the shit you've been through, and who better to address shit that people, to help you. It's just one person relating to another, Best course of action is there's so many people that are hurting and just broken. And a lot of that brokenness is because they feel like they're the only person in the world. But I know people that are broken in all kinds of ways. We can heal ourselves. I was telling out to Mom, I was like, Mom, our bodies, God gives us everything we need in our body to see what there's an imbalance. Like I'm trying to constantly get her to drink water. She drinks water and then she, has to go to the bathroom. I'm like, go to the bathroom then. But so I can tell when people don't have enough to drink, when they're dehydrated, their lips get chapped. It's one of God's little symbols. And just like there's little tells that we can do to let us know if we're retaining water, too much water. So, but there's just everything is balanced, and people can stay so much healthier just keeping things in balance. But that takes discipline, and there we go back to the whole people just aren't disciplined. Because people care more about toilet paper and stuff like that than man. And I saw that picture of a doctor holding an old man, the doctor and all this scrub. Hi, Benny. Go back to sleep, Benny. Hi, Luna. Say hi to Luna. Hi, Luna. It's just a pretty girl. She's a stone bother me. I'm not in the mood. And it freaking makes my third eye twitch. Seeing that doctor all in his shroud holding the man. Probably I think the man was 90, like at the end of his life, and he was holding him. It's just like, take that shit off, man. Take that shit off. If I'm gonna go out loving on a person, without any like barriers or anything like that, I'm so tired of scared people, fearful people. They're the ones that are ruining it for the rest of us. Marge Astrology this morning was talking about, I don't know, I see things how she does, and it's, it's like getting back to community and finding your soul tribe, and it's just, I know they're out there. I know they are, and maybe that's why we're being led to New Mexico. But, that's Tucker snoring back there. Artie's right behind me, and then Tucker's back there, So, today was kind of a hard day. But it got pretty comfortable here a little while ago, because that's what I found, All is right in the world when my mom is content and the dogs are content. I am content. All is right with the world. It's just being in the present moment. And so many people are not in the present. That's how all accidents happen, is people aren't thinking about what they're doing. That's how all meals get burnt. That's how people are not being in the present moment. People are cutting up stuff and not thinking about what they're cutting up. When you're using a knife, use the knife and don't think about anything else. But so many times people are like cutting up vegetables and they're thinking all this other stuff that they got to do. They turn their head, stuff like that. Whenever I've ever had an accident, I mean, I'm clumsy, but whenever I've had, it's because I'm not being in the present moment, thinking about what I was doing, and something happened, you know, and being in the and I was benefited. Somebody told me a long time ago that God's only with you in the present moment. That's why it's called the gift. That you don't, He's not with you in the past. So when you're thinking about things that already happened that you have no control over, God ain't with you there. And if you're worried about shit that hasn't happened yet, or may not happen, or if you're just imagining things, worries about things that haven't happened in the future, God ain't there either. God's only in the present moment. And so it's taken me a lot of years, and I digress oftentimes because I can get caught up in fear, just like everyone else is, anyone else, and I can get caught up in, it doesn't matter if it's my fear, the collective's fear, it don't matter. I can get caught up. I do this, I have my own little chants and things like that I like to do to keep me out of the vibration of fear, because you can't have fear and faith all the time at the same time. They're frequencies at the opposite end of the spectrum. So people you can't. It's not possible. They're not the same. So personal accountability. People are they really gonna start coming up and saying, I did this, I did that, I was wrong, how can I make it right? Are they really going to be able to do whatever is asked of them to make it right? Nah. Do people even know that there's a way of living like that to clean up crap that you've done? Or people just keep doing more crap? I feel bad for like the property managers and the freaking and the people that make it so hard for other people, the progress impeders, because I don't know, those guys I feel like are going to be dragged off by like ghosts, like in the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze, how the bad guy got dragged off on the end, and the real piece of work, the scumbag. People get what they deserve. They just don't think that they do. And people don't even think that consider spirits as like being immortal, but matter and energy doesn't die. Our bodies will die, but our essence, what is left over, our consciousness, what guides us to do the right thing or the selfish thing, whatever vibe you got, your last exhale goes out into the cosmos, or unless some freaking wackadoo freaking sucks you in. Well, there's people that like cannibals and stuff that get off, they got this weird psyche that tells them, they take in the last breath of other people, and it's a controlling thing. It's a Luciferi thing. It's a Luciferi tale theater storyline, and it's very real, and people don't. No, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. As people they know have been taken and human trafficked and all this stuff that happens that people. There is a comment that someone made earlier in one of my talks. I'm not much of a reader. Let's see. What they said, I was like, oh, that makes sense to me. And I was like, is that a reading? Is that something that they read, or a saying that they heard before? But I think it was their own clever endeavor. So, truth denied will be facts realized. I really like that. Truth denied will be facts realized. See, because we're all raising to a frequency, and our bodies are changing from carbon base to crystalline base. So it's like, ching, and our body and DNA is reacting to the astrological alignments of where it was the last time these planets lined up the way they did. Was like 600 years ago. So our spirit, all these people's spirits are activating that were reincarnated from 600 years ago. And it's like, are you still living are you living for God or for yourself? Which is, if anyone that's living for themselves is, as far as I'm concerned, is perpetuating the Lucy Fairy Tale Theater. You calm down. You relax. The Lucy Fairy Tale Theater. That's what I call it. That's what I call the Satanists that are freaking running the world. Oh, girl. You want to come and say hi? She said, yes, I do. I do. She's such a pretty smile. She's got a pretty smile. She's such a pretty girl. Oh, so pretty lady. Yes. They're all the family I got, man. And it's a lifelong commitment. When foster failed, I knew you are the only girl for me. Yes, I knew that one time. Oh my goodness, I'm so embarrassed right now. When I knew that. Oh, come on down here. Come on. Go girl. Go girl. This way. There we go. She can go there. Let her. Yeah, she can go in the little round bed. Nope. It ain't that kind of time. So she'll just hang out there. Anyway. So their body, their DNA is remembering of where it was 600 years ago, and they're not reacting real well. And people are really becoming unbalanced. And also their clairier senses are all coming online. Their cognitive senses, their extra senses, we're all extra. You know how I always knew when people had bad eyes and bad, you know, I know people's I can like hear people's, it's weird. I'm not 100%. Some people can tune me out, but I don't even try and pick up on people's inner dialogue, and I do. Most of the time I spend freaking up my time trying to be in the present moment. You don't know what's going on. You don't know. But I know. You know, I just dumb it down all I want and try and freaking deny all I want. But the reality of it is I'm an empath, and I'm like a heightened radio receiver that picks up on everything. And other people are understanding what that feels, you know, what that's like. And you tune in to the people that you vibe with, that you are actually the same frequency of. So that's why you call your buddy, and then a little while, and then and they're like, oh, I was just thinking about you. Well, yeah, because you're the same in tune. That's how people literally are in tune with one another. But society's been made to say, no, that doesn't happen. You know. But you know what people are doing. You know, especially if you've hung out with them. It's a little bit more difficult to like get in that energy space. But you're not supposed to get in other people's energy space without permission either. You're not. It's against the rules. That's why I try so hard to omit stuff. You don't want to get in other people's business. It's dark in there. Other people's thoughts, other people's thoughts are really mostly freaking mundane and trite. You know, that's why I do YouTube videos, because I can't make friends in real life. Huh? I can't. Oh. I am too much sauce.
Too much what?
Sauce. Too much sauce. You can't take the sauce off. Too much, yeah, too much. I'm small doses. People need to be around me in small doses. So, how long have I been running them around my mouth? I freaking got you too. That's cool. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Tess. Dora Christopher. Law of the Land book. Yeah, I'm not much of a reader, so. People coming into accountability. I'm like, hey, I hold out. I always hold out. I always got hope in my heart that people are gonna, do the right thing. It's just how many times in the last 46 years I thought people were gonna zig and they zagged. Or I swore they were gonna zag and they zigged, so. Anyway. My throat's starting to get a little bit dry. Luna. Huh? I'll take a wet whistle. I'll whistle. I'll wet my whistle. I'll whistle. I love water, man. I love it. I love how it makes my body feel. My body is not real excited about food right now. I had some yogurt earlier, but just, and the energies are so potent, man. Oh my goodness. Just try and do as much as you can just to stay even keel. People are just losing. It is so weird to see how people are losing it. And I know they are. I can feel it, and then I look on the news and I'm like, oh yeah, there's an example right there. And when I look on the news, I just like to see what's going on in mainstream media because of the freaking because all hell's gonna break loose as soon as they decide whatever is happening with the election. Yeah, it's gonna get crazy, and we're just gonna be quiet in our little See, and I always looked at because Mom and I just always hung out in like close by, in close proximity, and shoot, I mean, places cost so much to live these days. It's like you want to get your money's worth and be there at all every chance you get, right? So, I mean, you really get to appreciate your own space, your own. And no, he's snoring. He has a deviated septum. God bless him. So he, what was I talking about? No, before Tucker and I started. Oh, with the election and things we're just gonna, it's like we as long as we got Loudmeyer, I got music and my interweb, or doing my research and stuff like that, and then it's like we're in our own little spaceship flying through Earth, because we got our lights, we're just like in our own little part of the Earth, yeah, in our own little cocoon, waiting to bump into our other same freak tribe, same frequency tribe in real life. And man, I don't want to see. All I keep hearing about is how the world is gonna like get more restrictive, and then it's gonna open up a little bit. But oh my gosh, I just want to be people that I guess I'm stuck in nostalgia right now, kinda, and I think that's what what on Astrology Hub and what's her name? It's all right. We're talking about is because I just think about, like, I got a notification that a meeting I used to go to, the Foxhole group, Foxhole, yeah, I called it the Foxhole group. Anyways, like, they had the Christmas meeting, and they're not doing it. No, but people ain't meeting no more. They're meeting on Zoom. They're meeting online. They're not doing. There's nobody setting up the meeting. Nobody's making coffee for the meeting. There's no after the fellowship. None of that stuff is happening right now. So it's really freaking. But I carry those memories in my heart with me because it was Pete. My friend Pete just died this last week. He's only 56 years old, and he died of the contributing factors of the sickness, and he had other primary health things that did him in, and I got pickles from it because you could go around for the eating meeting, you'd reach it, he'd give you. He had the side dishes, and I always got the pickle. Sometimes I'd fish for it, but I'd always bring, and even if I didn't, I'd just bring pickles. Because I like to say pickles, and you just buy a jar, and it's because people you can put them on the table, and people like to eat pickles at potlucks. And the eating meeting was a potluck meeting. The eating meeting. So every year, like, they have a speaker, and then you eat your grocery store chicken and your sides that everybody brings, and the dessert. A lot of the desserts were good, but it's just like these are the way that the Earth was before, but they will never be that way again. But same heart space, hand out side dish, and and I've always, that's why I'm so adamant about keeping my mom and my dogs together, because we never know how long we have, and they're my favoriteest things in the world, and there's nothing else I'd rather do than hang out with them and be with them. And the world wants people to do it. And I decided a long time ago, no, I'm not going to do it. I will sacrifice the luxuries of modern, of modern great, reindeer games like really good credit and things like that for the time that I have with my mom and my dogs. Because my dogs, they're already 10, 11. Dogs don't live to be that old, you know. And then I'll have all the rest of my life to live to try and freaking, find other contentment in the present moment of where I'm at without them. Yeah. They're all just my little heartbreaks waiting to happen. We're all just a heartbreak waiting to happen. There's so many of us that don't have a big old family. But we're learning to find our own family that we make for ourselves. Yeah. So I can't wait till people start defear. I hope they start to defear, because man, this world has not been fun for me to live in, like up until now, and then it's supposed to change for people like me, light workers and shit, our favor.